Hey, beautiful people, once again, it is so lovely to be able to sit down, share a moment with you all, weave some thoughts and feelings and some stories and a little bit of alchemy along the way. So here we are, a new year. I say a new year, we're going to explore that. We've been exploring it, haven't we, over the last few posts and stories and videos, and there within the podcast, this concept between a man-made new year and the earth-based new year. So here we are at a new year, and millions of people out there determined to make a fresh start, and I'm kind of seeing so much of that, and I'm hearing so much kind of talk and chatter. I think chatter is the absolutely right word. Chatter around starting a whole new year and setting those New Year's resolutions. I think chatter absolutely sums that up beautifully. And we kind of been exploring that, haven't we? We've been exploring this understanding between the man-made New Year and the earth-based New Year, which arrives around spring equinox, and kind of really exploring those differences and how that kind of shows up in our lives as well. You know, so, you know, we've got, you know, millions of people determined to make a fresh start on the 1st of January, when actually we're still in the midst of winter, and we've still got this kind of feeling that we want to, you know, go gently, go softly, and hibernate, yet we're being encouraged to start these whole new projects when the land around us is still firmly asleep. You know, it's kind of pulling us away from our natural rhythm and what naturally waxes and wanes within us, and that to me is absolutely at the heart of it, of what we have been really trying to, you know, kind of work with, and what has left us really confused for the last 1,000 years. And that is not said lightly, and that's no light statement. You know, it's not underestimating, you know, that period of time, and we're talking about time. You know, so it is, you know, and the thing is, you know, when we kind of like think, you know, all those millions of people determined to make a fresh start, and they're busy, you know, filling out those productivity planners and, you know, setting those intentions on the 1st of January and really like leaning in, this is going to be year, New Year's resolutions. And, you know, trying to feel motivated to reach their goals by the year's end. The thing is, we've been here before. This time last year, and perhaps the year before that, and even maybe the one before that. And we felt exactly the same. And many of us, and many people, have been setting the same New Year's goals for a while now. And I said for years, you know, for years and years and years, it doesn't make sense that there's some sort of ckery going on and sorcery going on when you kind of, you know, just move into that concept around New Year's resolutions. There's ckery going on and sorcery going on. You know, it's kind of engineered by design to make you feel like rubbish, because, you know, how can you expect to carry forwards something that is sparked when naturally we still want to hibernate, and the natural world around us is still firmly asleep? How can that take hold? So why would we create this calendar that is inverted and back to front? Questions, really important questions. We need to be exploring this and like trying to understand why we all feel completely out of alignment. Yeah, because the world around us is inverted. And it is, you know, when the spirits say we're in a cycle of return, we are being woven back into the centre. We continue to move from harm to healing. This is some of the discussions. These are some of the conversations that we are having around our fires. Yeah, really important. So we've been here before. You know, many people have been there before and been setting the same New Year's goals for a while now, unable to carry that initial excitement and motivation forwards. And we know why. It's set at the wrong time. We are in a shift, a time where we are moving into a concept of managing time or managing energy. I believe we're moving beyond managing time and we're looking at managing energy. And that absolutely is seeded in the first part of this conversation. Let us talk about time. And here's something else to weave into the conversation while we're here. Time is a non-renewable resource. Once it is passed, you can never turn it back. You can never get it back. And one of the greatest gifts you can ever give another is your time. Because once it's spent, it is gone and it is spent forever. Okay? And there's kind of like two types of time in which we have clock time, where we measure it at 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day, and so on and so forth. A time that never changes. And then there's relative time, a time that flies away, or by contrary, kind of refuses to pass. So what's that? And then of course in amongst that we have this earth-based time. The seasons, the twists, the turns, the waxing and the waning. You know, kind of like, of course we've got to measure it somehow. And maybe going back, our ancestors would have been a lunar calendar for sure. You know, we would have measured time by the waxing and waning of the moon. And that would have moved probably more gently. And kind of, yeah, we live in this modern world and we have things that we have to organise. But, you know, again, it's like we need to kind of look at how far we've been led away from our natural rhythm and why stress-based illness has become the norm, why so many people are not sleeping. So, you know, why so many people are feeling out of kilter, and why is it that stress-based illness has become such a norm? You know, these are really, really important questions. And as we say, you know, it's like the further we move away from that natural time, the seasons, the waxing and waning, you know, the more we kind of find ourselves fragmented. You know, Donna Ashworth, and I saw this shared this last week, I think. Donna Ashworth says this, and it is really beautiful. You may think yourself lazy or flawed, yet your body is made of almost exactly the same elements as the stars. Your bone composition matches the coral in the seas. And you, my friend, are ruled by the moon and the sun, whether you like it or not. So no, you are not lazy. Nature is simply pulling you to slow, like the life, the flora, the fauna around you. It is not your moment to rise. It is winter. You are wintering, and you are right on time. How beautiful and profound is that? And I hope that really does kind of bring something together for you, just to look at things from another perspective. Something else you can do can just really fuse this together is when you wake up in the morning during these winter weeks and months that are still left, is when you wake up in the morning, is kind of lay there, place your hand, something I've been doing for some time, place your hand on your heart, take a deep breath and say to yourself, what is it that I require and need right now? What is it I require and need right now physically? What is it that I need and require right now physically? Maybe what stirs as an answer is gentleness. And then it's like, well, how can I nourish that and nurture that within my day? How can I support that? And once that answer comes, hand on your heart and just breathe in and ask yourself, okay, what is it I need emotionally? I don't know if I asked emotionally or physically. Both are really important. So first one, next one, physically, emotionally. What is I need emotionally? What is it I need physically? And that might be, you know, again, very similar to the first answer. And then it is looking at how you can support that, how you can nurture that. And then the third and last question is hand on heart, take a deep cleansing breath and saying to yourself, what is it that I need and require spiritually? And what begins to rise, what begins to come up, and then importantly is how can you support those three answers? How can you support yourself in nurturing and nourishing what you deeply require? And it can be really, really profound. Really, really profound. And that kind of keys into moving away from managing time to managing energy. I hope that serves you. Something that's come up within a few of the consultations in the last week. I hope that really, really serves you. And as always, keep shining, sending you all so much love.